Hey, hey, hey! Happy Saturday! Yes, it is the weekend, and it's a long weekend in United States of America. Hello, everyone. Hello. Say hello in the chat. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hello. Let me, um, um hello, everyone. Let me share this. Let me share this into the group. How's everyone doing? Hello. It is Saturday. Hello. I am so excited. I'm so grateful. I am very happy. The weekend is here, and let's talk about your big why. Why is it that you chose to be in private practice? Why is it that you decided to have a business, right? Because the truth is that not everyone wants to be in business. Not everyone wants to have a private practice. Not everyone wants to be their own boss, right? Not everyone wants to build a legacy in this kind of way. Um, so good morning. My name is Soribel Martínez. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Connecticut. I am the CEO of SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services. I am a best-selling author of Unbreakable and the multi-million dollar private practice business book. And I am here because I have a big why. And um, uh, share this video, tag your friends who are in private practice. Let's talk about, um, let's talk about your big why, right? Let's talk about your big why. Why is it that, you started your private practice? Because, one of the things that we have to do is when we go into business, into private practice, is identify our big why. And this is important because your big why, your big reason why you're doing what you're doing, can be the driving force, can thrive you, can push you, can take you to the next levels of all the things that you want to create, all the things that you want to do, the growth, the scalability, facing the challenges, all of those things. So it's very important for us to identify why we do what we do. And for me, if I can share my story with you, for me, it has always been my son. Initially, when I was younger, I was a young woman. My big why was like, you know, that purpose, that calling to help others. I decided I wanted to be a business owner when I was like 7 years old. I used to dream of that in the Dominican Republic. I wanted to be a businesswoman, and I got a business degree for that reason, right? So for me, my son became the big reason why I do what I do every day. And sometimes that big why can be the reason why you get up every day. You don't wake yourself up. Somebody else wakes you up, right? And that is like a gift to us. But when we decide to get up every single morning, we have to have a reason why we do it. And for me, my son has been that reason because I take motherhood very serious. I take parenthood very serious. I believe that being a mom is one of the most important jobs and roles that I have as a woman. And I remember when I was a school social worker, I was a school social worker, working. I have made the decision before I have children, before I even had kids. I knew that I wanted my kids to receive private education. that was like something that has always been important to me. And the reason why is because growing up in the Dominican Republic, I received private education. Private education was different, was the quality of the education was different. The relationship I had with my teachers was different. And the truth is that when I came to the United States, my parents couldn't afford to have me in a private school. So I went to public school here, and I was able to see the difference between the education that I was receiving in the Dominican Republic that was private, and the education that I have here in the United States in public. And I had decided early on in my life that I wanted to provide my children with private education. And I have even, put an eye on the school that I wanted John Anthony to go to. And as a school social worker, the payment of that education, and also private lessons for the violin which he enjoyed, and the swimming lessons and the sports and the other things that I wanted him to engage in, were really eating a lot of my financial money. And as a single parent, right, I knew that I needed to do something different in order to continue to provide the life that I truly wanted for my son. And I knew that was not going to get any cheaper. Actually, as your children get older, things get more expensive because, of course, they're older. Their clothes are bigger, shoes are bigger, their needs are more, and so on and so forth. So, as a school social worker, the school funding was eating a lot of my income. And although I was making about $100,000 as a school social worker, that was not enough for me and the lifestyle that I wanted to have. And perhaps, you know what, $100,000 is good enough for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I wanted more. I wanted more. I needed more. I desire more. I longed for more. And I decided that coming into business was going to be that that thing that was going to help me to continue to raise my son. So my son graduated high school this past Wednesday, right? And I am so grateful. He graduated with honors. He's moving on to college. He's going to a 3+1 program. He's going to do a bachelor's in 3 years in pre-med biology, and a master's degree in cell biology, right? And for me, that is important because I want to help my son get through school without debt, right? Without the debt, right? Because you are not, and I know how much it costs us to go to school and paying the loans, even though there's nothing wrong with paying your loans for your education. But I want to support my son. I want to help my son get to his goal of being a physician without having tons and tons of loans and debt. So I decided to come into private practice, and John Anthony had become my biggest why, my biggest reason, the reason why I get up every morning. I mean, I have all the reason, but he's the biggest reason because as a mom, I'm leaving a legacy. I am leaving a legacy to him and my next generations to come. And it's my role, my job to make sure that I'm making that step into influencing how the next generation is going to look like, how the next generation is going to manifest itself in the workforce as business owners, creating legacy for themselves and their own families. So I want to invite you to identify what's your biggest why. Why did you go into private practice? Why do you want to be in private practice? Why do you want to scale your private practice to the next level? Because the next level will require you to have a big why. It will require you to have a big reason why you're doing it. Because the day that you don't want to do the thing that you need to do or you want to do, you have to connect with that particular reason. You need to connect to that particular reason. You need to connect to that thing that is going to prepare you forward, that's going to help you get moving, right? So identify your big why. And you do that by really asking you one important question. Why is it that I'm here? What is it that I'm here to do? For me, I think that I'm here to break generational curses, generational trauma, generational patterns. Where the women in my past generations, they were not able to get educated, right? They didn't have the resources, they didn't have the opportunities, they didn't have what I have, right? So for me, I am working on extending to the next generations exactly what it is that's needed, right? That drive, that thrive, that desire, that passion, that love, that connection, right? So I want to invite you to grow your private practice with your big why in mind. Because when you are creating, when you are growing, when you are scaling to the next level, and you are very clear in why you're doing it, the how is easy, because the how I will teach you in my upcoming program, in my upcoming free training called grow grow your solo therapy practice. And these 3-day intensive online training is exactly developed for solo private practice owner who want to scale to the next level. They want to be solo, but they don't want to do it alone. You want to scale solo, but you don't want to do just one-to-one sessions. You want to scale solo, but you don't want to do everything. You want to get to the next level, and you want to leverage your skills. You want to leverage your knowledge. You want to leverage your tools, your strategies. You want to impact more people in your community. You want to write that book. You want to create that journal. You want to have the systems and support in place in your private practice, right? You want to make sure that your business model is sustainable, that your business model can be diversified, right? That you can offer the services that you desire to more people. So in this 3-day online training, completely free for you, I will be teaching you exactly what I have done to build a successful practice for myself. I'm going to teach you some of my multi-million dollar frameworks that have given me the strategies and the tools and the skills to consistently grow and scale my business. And I'm going to give it to you in these 3 days. So where do you go to register? You go to www.growyoursolotherapypractice.com. And the link is right here below this video. And you can register so you can get more. So you can create the life that you desire, that you can break generational curses and trauma, so you can establish a new journey, a new beginning, a new expectation for the women and the people around you, for your children, for your grandchildren, great grandchildren, for your nephews and nieces. So you are the pioneer in your family, in your industry, so you can grow your practice and make a big impact in the community the way you want to. That as a leader, you can provide the services that you want to provide, that you have what it takes, right? And your why is big. And you can't ignore your why. Your why is what's going to give you that push. It's going to give you that hope when things may not be going exactly the way that you want to. Your big why will give you the hope. I remember last year when I lost my grandpa, my grandma, my father, right? And I had to cancel some of my the things that I have said to do because my father was dying in the hospital. I know that when I thought about my son and I thought about my commitment to my big why, my commitment to my purpose, the commitment to this work. I remember that John Anthony in my head, in my mind, seeing him giving me that push to get up every single day when I really didn't want to get up because I was sad or I was grieving, I was feeling a certain kind of way. You need a big why. Why are you here? Why were you created? Why were you given this purpose? Who is the thing, the person that you think about that really motivates you to get up and continue pushing forward? I want you to connect with that why. I want you to connect with that reason. I want you to understand that you can grow your private practice and you can do it not alone. You can do it with the support that you need. And that begins with my free training, Grow Your Solo Therapy Practice. And in those 3 days, I will teach you exactly what you need to do to get there faster. Not because we're going to cut corners, no, because we're going to implement business strategies and skills that will help you grow and scale a sustainable business that can keep you on for a really long time. This is my 7 years and 7 year in business. And I'm not going to tell you that it's always easy. I'm not going to tell you that it's always roses and sunshine because it's not. But what I can tell you, the business skills and strategies that I'm going to teach you are going to help you build a sustainable business. So 3 years later, you're not shutting down your business, right? Because you don't have the skills and the tools that are necessary to continue to grow. So you are not stuck um, making a certain amount of money when you want more. It requires you to have the skills and the tools to make it to the next level. And I'm going to give you exactly the frameworks, the tools, the strategies, and the mindset that is needed in order for you to do that. In that training, you're going to get the replays. You are going to get a beautiful workbook that's going to guide you step by step, so after the trainings, you can go and implement right away. Because we're not going to give you just anything. We're going to give you good quality training that will help you go implement immediately. Because you know that the implementation is important, and I will guide you through that workbook. So join me for those 3 days. It's going to be an amazing transformational 3 days where me, myself, and my team, we're going to be teaching you exactly what is it that you need to grow solo, but not alone. Because the point is not for you to do it alone. The point is for you to do it solo. If you don't want to be in group practice, I will teach you what are the other ways that you can diversify your business model so you can build a 7 or multi 7 figure business without having to use group therapy, books, workbooks, journals, speak. There's so many ways, and I will be able to guide your work. And that begins with coming and joining me on from the 3rd to the 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We are going to be going on a private Zoom. I'm going to be teaching you exactly what is it that you need to grow your therapy practice on solo, but not alone. So listen, again, my name is Soribel Martínez. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Connecticut. I am the CEO and owner of SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services, and I am here to help you. I'm an author, a speaker. I have taught at university level, right? I know exactly what you need to do to diversify your business model so you can grow solo, but not alone. I will talk to you soon. Adios. Besitos, besitos. Ciao.